Hello everyone, my name is Miniseti. I hope you all are staying healthy. Today we are going to talk about government intervention to correct a market failure. As we know, market failure is very difficult situation for our economy and government takes some steps to cure this difficult situation and it is called government intervention to correct a market failure. And government intervention basically divided into 5 parts. First part include government intervention to minimize market power. Second part include government intervention to correct externalities. Next part include government intervention in case of merit and demerit goods. Next part include government intervention for correcting information failure. And last part include government intervention for equitable distribution. One by one we discuss about each part. So firstly, we are going to talk about government intervention to minimize market power. What is market power? Market power usually refers to the power of single firm. Market power usually refers to the power of single firm. For example, monopoly. As we know, monopoly charge higher price and higher price reduce consumer surplus and social welfare and become cause of market failure. And government can minimize market power by making some laws. For example, Competition Act in India, Competition Act in UK and Antitrust Law in USA. These laws basically made to prevent monopolies and induce fair competition in market. Second thing government can do to minimize market power is price regulation. Government can set price limit that firm can charge and firm cannot cross that price limit. Now we are going to talk about government intervention to correct externalities, in which we will talk about government regulation in case of negative externalities. What is negative externalities? Negative externalities means when an activity generates loss to unrelated third party. Negative externalities means when an activity generates loss to unrelated third party. For example, firm is doing production and this production is cause of environment pollution. So we can say that because of production, society is bearing cost of pollution. It will cause negative externality. The government can reduce effect of negative externalities by so many ways. First is direct control. Government directly reduce activity which are cause of negative externalities. For example, government can ban production and sale of some goods. Government can ban smoking in some areas. Second thing government can do, make some laws. For example, Environment Protection Act. Next thing government can do, government can give incentives to firms who accomplish environmental goal. And most important thing to reduce the effect of negative externalities, imposing pollution tax. Because tax increase cost. When cost increase, price increase. As price increase, demand fall. As demand fall, production of goods fall. So by imposing a tax, production of goods can fall, which is cause of negative externality. Now we will clearly understand how pollution tax reduce the production of goods, which is cause of environment pollution. In this diagram, on x-axis we have quantities and y-axis we have cost and benefit. MSB is marginal social benefit curve, MPC is marginal private cost curve, MSC is marginal social cost curve. Initially our output is OQ and this OQ amount of output is cause of environment pollution. That's why government imposed tax equal to A1. As government imposed tax, cost of private sector increased. Now cost of private sector is MPC plus taxes. As cost increase, price increase. You can see price increase OP to OP1. As price increase, demand fall, production fall. You can see now production of goods fall from OQ to OQ1. So here we see how pollution tax reduce the production of goods, which is cause of environment pollution. And without government intervention, loss of society is equal to ABC. Now we will see government intervention in case of merits and demerits goods. Firstly, we are going to talk about government intervention in case of merits goods. What are merits goods? Merits goods are those goods which increase the welfare of society. Merits goods are those goods which increase the welfare of society. For example, education, healthcare, park, fire protection, etc. In this diagram, we can see on x-axis we have quantity and y-axis we have cost and benefit. MPB is marginal private benefit, MSP is marginal social benefit, MSC is marginal social cost, MPC is marginal private cost. This OQ amount of output of merit goods is socially optimum output. At this amount of output, you can see marginal social cost is equal to marginal social benefit. So we can say that this OQ amount of output, society is consuming enough merits goods. But if output is less than OQ, for example, output is OQ1. OQ1 output is showing underproduction of merit goods. And because of underproduction of merits goods, society is bearing loss equal to ACB. That's why government should make provision for increasing the output of merits goods. And government can increase output of merits goods by so many ways. For example, government can provide subsidies to those industry who is doing production of merits goods. Second thing, government can combine government and market provision. For example, private sector and government sector together providing healthcare services. Now we are going to talk about government intervention in case of demerit goods. So what are demerit goods? Demerit goods are socially undesirable goods which reduce welfare of society. Demerit goods are socially undesirable goods which reduce welfare of society. For example, cigarette, alcohol, intoxicating drugs, etc. In this diagram, we can see on x-axis we have quantities of demerit goods, on y-axis we have price. MSB is marginal social benefit, MPB is marginal private benefit, MSC is marginal social cost, MPC is marginal private cost. Without government intervention, people are consuming more demerit goods. We can see here, without government intervention, quantities of demerit goods is OQ, which is market efficient quantities. And with the government intervention, quantities of demerit goods reduce and become equal to OQ1. And OQ1 is socially efficient quantities of demerit goods. At OQ level, people are consuming more demerit goods. That's why loss of society is equal to ABC. So when people are consuming OQ quantities of demerit goods, means government intervention is must. People are consuming more quantities of demerit goods. When government intervene, government set price of demerit goods equal to OP1, which is higher than equilibrium price. And when government set OP1 price, higher price, it reduce quantities of demerit goods OQ to OQ1, and OQ1 quantity is socially efficient quantities of demerit goods. But in case of demerit goods, reduction in price mainly don't work because people are addicted of this. They will consume either their price is high or low. Government can make some other provision to reduce the consumption of demerit goods. First is enforce the rule of negative advertising campaign. Enforce the rule of a negative advertising campaign. For example, write on the packet about the danger associated with consumption of demerit goods. As we see on the packet of cigarette, it is written smoking is cause of cancer. Second thing government can do, government can ban the advertisement and promotion of demerit goods. Government can make some regulation also. For example, sale of cigarette is away from schools, time restriction for sales to reduce the consumption of demerit goods. Now we are going to talk about government intervention for correcting information failure. What do you mean by information failure? Information failure means when one party have insufficient information about other party. Means when one party don't have complete information about other party. For example, sellers know his product is faulty, his product quality is not good, but still he is selling his product to buyer because buyer don't know about it, buyer don't have information about it. It is called information failure. In this case, our market will fail. And government can correct information failure by so many ways. First is government make mandatory to have accurate labeling. Government can make mandatory to have accurate labeling. Second thing government can do, government can set standard of advertisement so that companies cannot deceive consumer by giving false advertisement. Now we are going to talk about government intervention for equitable distribution. As we know, there is so much income gap between rich and poor. And through equitable distribution, government redistribute income in such a way so that equity and fairness can bring in society. And first intervention for equitable distribution is progressive tax. Progressive tax means higher tax on high income earner and lower tax on low income earner, and use this tax income for welfare of people whose income is very low. Second thing government can do, government can provide unemployment compensation, government can do job reservation. Next thing government can do, government can give subsidies to people for starting their small scale business. And last thing government can do, government can make some social security schemes for welfare of people. And this is all about government intervention to correct market failure. I think you got it, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye, take care.